Yo, what's up guys? Tom from FC Ultra down here at Ultra Football, and we've got a bit of an exciting video for you guys at home today. As you can see in front of me, I have some pretty iconic vapors to be fair, and we're taking a look at Neymar Signature Edition football boots. Now he's got a new pair out which is hiding away in this box, but what we're going to do first is we're going to take a look at Neymar's complete history of all his Signature Edition boots. Now, unfortunately, because the store isn't actually that old yet, we're still quite young, we can only see what we have in front of me from when the store was open, the boots we were able to get our hands on. This means that we're missing Neymar's 4 first Signature Edition boots. Obviously, back then he was still in the Hypervenoms. So we're going to take a look through those 4 boots before we get into what's on the table in front of me right here. So Neymar's first ever Signature Edition was way back in 2014, and this was on the Hypervenom silo. We were looking at the Hypervenom Phantom Premium Golds. Now these boots, I'll throw a picture up. I'm so sad we don't have them in front of us, because they are absolutely outrageous. They're unbelievable. What a color, and also what a boot. That Hypervenom 1 upper was arguably one of the best uppers ever made, even though there were those durability problems. They were incredible. Now, unfortunately for Neymar, even though this World Cup was on home soil in Brazil and they had high hopes, they all came crashing down in the quarterfinal when Neymar got injured and he hurt his back. Now, if you remember the semi-final, you know it didn't end up too well for Brazil at the end of that World Cup, which was unfortunate. They weren't able to create history and win on home soil. But for Neymar, that first Signature Edition boot was an absolute smash coming straight out of the blocks. So we'll take a look at Neymar's second Signature Edition boot now. We're still looking at the Hypervenom silo. We've jumped into 2015 though, but we're taking a look at the Hypervenom Phantom Liquid Diamond. Now these boots arguably are almost as good as his first initial gold ones. They are absolute smash colorway, and I like them a lot. And my favorite thing about these ones is the details he has on them. So the diamond is a reference to his sister and his family. There are lots of very nice details, and these boots really went in depth into Neymar's story, referencing tattoos on his body and everything. They were also a celebration for Nike and Neymar being in their 8th year of working together. And I thought this release was amazing, backing up those gold ones with a silver boot. I didn't think you could go wrong with these, but we need to continue on into his 3rd Signature Edition boot now. So it's time to look at Neymar's 3rd Signature Edition now, and it's the Ousadia e Alegrias. Now this boot is made in 2016, and we're looking at the Hypervenom Phantom 2 silo now. Arguably a lot worse upper compared to the Hypervenom 1, and Neymar for sure didn't enjoy these as much. I'll tell you a bit of a story on the next boot we look at, but these boots were made in collaboration with Brazilian artist Bruno Big. Now they were a pretty cool design, pretty outrageous. Again, you wouldn't expect anything different from Neymar and his playing style. And talking about his playing style, those 2 words that I mentioned before, they are actually tattooed on Neymar's calves, and they mean fun and daring as a rough translation to English. And this is what Neymar tries to model his playing style off. He's come out and said it. It's trying to remember that he's having fun while he's playing, but he's also taking risks, and he's being daring in his playing style, which you can definitely see when he's out there on the field. But it's time to jump into boot number 4 now. On to boot number 4, we're taking a look at Neymar X Jordan, still in 2016 and still on those Hypervenom 2s. Now these boots were really cool. They had a lot of detail that shone through from the OG Jordan sneakers, and Neymar used to say that he would wear these out in the street, and he'd always have to try to not play football in them because he'd get a beating from his parents whenever he came home with his Jordans absolutely scraped up. Now these boots were really cool. There was lots of cool details, such as the number 23 on one heel for Michael Jordan, and obviously Neymar's number 10 as well on the other heel. They were very cool looking boots, but again, they were still on the Hypervenom 2s. Now Neymar wasn't the biggest fan of the Hypervenom 2 upper, along with a lot of people out there, especially how different it was to the Hypervenom 1. So this was when Neymar started customizing his mercurial boots and just getting them put in the Hypervenom colorways. So a lot of you out there wouldn't have noticed it, a lot of people don't even know about it, but Neymar was actually rocking mercurial vapors long before he officially switched into them. But it is now time to take a look at his mercurial vapor signature editions, and luckily for me we have them here in front of us. So we're going to start with these bad boys right here. We're looking at the Written in the Star vapors. Now when we take a look at these Vapor 11s, which dropped in July of 2017, there is a lot of detail on this boot. There are 6 iconic goals that he's scored. He's got his top speed on there. He's even got the birth dates of his beloved son, his sister as well. The amount of detail that has gone into this boot was something that we hadn't quite seen before on signature editions, and obviously this also marked his move to PSG at the time, and these are a very iconic colorway, to be fair, for Neymar, and I actually quite like it a lot. I'm a big fan when we see this much detail on a football boot. Now the coolest story that I've heard about the Neymar Written in the Stars is actually about the swoosh placement. Now before this pair of football boots, all the Vapors had the swoosh wrapping around onto the front of the toe box. Now personally I wasn't the biggest fan of this, and by the sounds of it, nor was Neymar. He requested specifically that the swooshes be on the sides of the boot, both lateral and medial sides. And now the Nike designers, they listened to him. It just sort of shows Neymar's power that he has within the Nike brand, and they've listened so much so that from then on all of the Vapors have had that swoosh on the side of the boot rather than wrapping around to the toe box. We roll into 2018 now, and we're taking a look at the Neymar Puro Fenomeno. And now these boots here is probably Nike's most iconic football boot they've ever made of the Vapor, worn by, of course, R9, the large Ronaldo, we shall say. And they've been brought forward into the future with these ones. That was the nod. It was to show Neymar bringing forward the game of football, but still giving credit to the old roots, especially a Brazilian teammate like R9. Now this boot colorway I think is absolutely outstanding, and those words I said to you earlier, Alegria again is on this boot. It is a little nod to making sure he has fun on the football pitch. But the main story behind these is a Brazilian icon of the past giving the nod to a Brazilian icon of the future. We roll into 2018 in the Vapor 12, and we're looking at the Mew Jogos, which means my game in Brazilian. And of course, we're looking at that yellow colorway, just showing Neymar being that Brazilian icon. And now the white on this boot is actually a nod to his time at Santos, and just showing that it has been a journey throughout. Now the other touches on this boot, we can see once again the word Alegria on the sock liner, and if you roll over and look at that sole plate, it is absolutely stunning in that metallic finish. Now these boots were created for Neymar for the knockout stages of the 2018 World Cup. Unfortunately they went out to Belgium in that one, but these boots are still a stunning pair of football boots. We're into 2019 now, just last year, and we're looking at the Neymar Silencios. Now these boots are all about Neymar finding his inner silence before he steps out on the football pitch. All that matters is the football, and then silencing the doubters and the haters. It has a detail all over the upper, and it rolls around under the boot as well. It is a nice, weird, delicate detail, and these boots with those pop of red is a very clean looking boot for sure. It's also got the crown tattoo which Neymar has on his body on the heel of that boot. But we need to move on, and we're on to Neymar's most recent signature edition, and we're looking at the Speed Freaks. Now these guys right here take inspiration from Neymar's playing style, his dazzling pace, but also his quick feet. He also has a love for motorsport, so this comes through with the checkered flag on the Nike swoosh and the detail rolling under that split sole plate. Again, he has lots of little details around on that heel, such as Alegria and Shush as well, which we've seen on his generation before this. But now it is time, guys. It is time to have a look at Neymar's brand new signature edition boots. So I'm going to unbox them for you right here, and we'll take a look at the colorway. So here they are. And I'll tell you what, straight out of the box, it is a colorway that really catches your eye. You wouldn't expect anything else from Neymar. These almost look like a rainbow. We've got that yellow fading all the way to blue at the heel, with that almost black metallic, really deep purple swoosh, it looks very, very clean. And again, we're seeing those two words popping up on the heels of the boots. It's telling us to play with fun and dare to create at the same time. Now also we've got the Neymar Jr. logo on the tongue, and I think these look very, very cool, and on the insole actually as well. But what do you guys think? What is your favorite Neymar Signature Edition boot ever created? He has had a fair few now. We have a lot of options to pick from. For me, I've got to say it's got to be one of his first two that were ever created. They were absolutely unbelievable. Also on a Hypervenom one, what an iconic football boot. But you guys, let us know in the comments down below what you think is your favorite Neymar Signature Edition boot. And make sure to get your hands on these quickly from Ultra Football. I'm sure they won't last long at all. There isn't a lot of pairs. But thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one.